One of Samsung's upcoming phones is about to look a lot like a Pixel and even a little like the next iPhone. That's the big surprise from newly leaked dummy units of the Galaxy S26 lineup, which just hit the internet. And the most interesting twist is happening on the model that's usually caught in the middle. So here's the deal. Photos shared by reliable leaker Sonny Dixon show three Galaxy S26 dummy models: the S26 Pro, the S26 Edge, and the S26 Ultra. Now, we already know the Ultra tends to hog the spotlight every year, but this time the Edge is stealing the show, and for good reason. Samsung seems to be giving it a design change that's going to spark some serious comparisons. Instead of sticking with Samsung's traditional vertical camera layout, the Galaxy S26 Edge now has a wide horizontal camera bar. If that sounds familiar, it's because that's the signature look of Google's Pixel lineup. And to make things even more interesting, Apple is rumored to use a similar bar design for the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Air. Basically, three of the biggest players in the smartphone game could soon be rocking the same camera style. Why does that matter? Well, design is one of the most instantly recognizable aspects of a phone. When you see a Pixel, that bar immediately tells you what it is. If Samsung leans into that look, it could blur the visual identity between brands, or it could just signal that this is the next logical evolution for smartphone design. Either way, people are going to notice. Now, Samsung didn't just slap on a camera bar for the aesthetics. According to Ice Universe, the large horizontal housing isn't just for show. The extra space will actually be used to tuck in some internal components, which frees up room for a bigger battery. The S26 Edge is expected to jump from 3900 mAh cell to 4200 mAh one. That's a meaningful upgrade for a phone that sits in the middle of the lineup. And if you've ever felt like the Plus or Edge models get overlooked in terms of standout features, this is Samsung saying, not this time. On top of the bigger battery, the redesign also makes the phone thinner. We're talking a reduction from 5.8 millimeters to just 5.5. It's a small difference on paper, but in your hand, it could feel like a sleeker and more polished device. All three S26 models, Pro, Edge, and Ultra, are also shaping up with more rounded corners. That lines up with earlier rumors that Samsung wants the Ultra in particular to ditch its sharper look and feel more approachable. If you've ever thought the Ultra was a little too squared off, this could be a welcome change. Another interesting detail spotted on the dummies is a circular depression on the back. That's almost certainly a sign that Samsung is adding magnets for Key 2 wireless charging. Apple kicked off the magnet trend with MagSafe, and now we're seeing more Android makers jump on board. Having built-in support for magnetic accessories could open the door to a whole ecosystem of chargers, stands, and mounts designed specifically for these phones. And then there's the camera island. Unlike the Galaxy S25 series, which went with more individually separated camera lenses, the S26 models have a defined island again. The Ultra is rumored to get a bump here to make room for upgraded main and telephoto sensors, but we'll need to wait and see how that plays out. It's worth pointing out that Samsung seems to be playing it safe with the Ultra. The company doesn't want to alienate their most loyal customers, so the biggest shakeup is happening with the Edge. That's a smart move if you think about it. Keep the Ultra familiar for people who expect consistency, while experimenting on the mid-tier model to grab attention from people who might be eyeing a Pixel or an iPhone. So what does all this mean? The Galaxy S26 Edge could end up being the model that sparks the most conversation next year. By adopting a horizontal camera bar, slimming down the body, adding a bigger battery, and possibly jumping on the magnetic charging train, it might finally stand out as more than just the middle child of the lineup. And if Samsung, Google, and Apple all move toward this camera bar design at the same time, we could be looking at the start of a new era in smartphone aesthetics. Love it or hate it, the horizontal camera bar might be the design language of the next few years. The leaks don't tell us everything. We're still waiting to see the front design, the displays, and of course, how the cameras perform in real life. But one thing is clear, Samsung's Galaxy S26 family isn't just a safe yearly refresh. The Edge in particular is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing phones of 2025. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.